Wayne's World style. And 5, 4.
Jesus. You're watching FRIGHTCAP, kind of an impromptu episode. We're on the second day of the news of the death of Paul Reubens. And it's hit this household pretty hard.
Yes.
He was my... if I ever had an idol, if I ever had anyone that I followed from childhood to adulthood, it would be Paul Reubens. And the character of Pee Wee Herman especially, but Paul Reubens and everything he's done. And it feels like the death of a childhood friend or a best friend, and it's been hard to swallow. I started with Pee Wee's Big Adventure renting it, and just falling in love with that movie. My grandparents rented it for me when I was really little, and I fell in love with everything about that movie. And it just so happened he was at the tail end of the last seasons of Pee Wee's Playhouse, so that was airing every Saturday morning. Here in Nashville. It would air Saturday mornings at 10.
I remember watching Pee Wee. Like, Pee Wee's Playhouse was like big to me, but like I said, I just knew that Pee Wee would come on Saturday. So like that was one of my shows I would watch, was Pee Wee's Playhouse, and of course whatever else came on. Probably Ninja Turtles, probably what I was watching. Going back to Pee Wee's Big Adventure, like I remember watching it a lot, but like I said, it's kind of one of those things where everything's just meshed together. Like I said, I couldn't tell you if I watched the TV show first and then that. Like, I don't know like how Pee Wee came in my life, but I know I was little whenever he did come in my life, so that's what I said.
I just remember the spine of the VHS cover and the Warner Brothers emblem. That's something that I carry with me. Warner Brothers is Pee Wee's Big Adventure and Batman.
Yeah, Batman for sure. That's a good. Well, hell, 2 Tim Burtons.
2 Tim Burtons in a
Yeah,
row.
that's
Warner Brothers had him. If you really think about it, this is a way to tie this into horror. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was scary as hell. During points in that movie, moments in that movie, the Chiodo brothers did the stop motion animation for Large Marge, which was scary as hell. Pee Wee would actually, Paul Reubens would go in Pee Wee character to these screenings of Pee Wee's Big Adventure and warn children that this is going to be scary at this point in time, and you may not want to watch, or you may want to look away, just to give everybody a heads up, because he was aware of it. Wayne White bringing in like the creepy puppetry and the cool art set design. Rob Zombie worked as a production assistant on Pee Wee's Playhouse. So everything is weirdly intertwined with horror when it comes to the Playhouse and Big Adventure and Big Top Pee Wee.
Of all the stuff in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, the clowns is up there. Large Marge is terrifying, but the clowns...
The clown dream sequence is rough.
Yeah, that's some epic clownery, if you will. I thought that was good. It's like scenery.
It's good, honey.
Scenery with clowns. In essence, the bike is a character. You know, his bicycle. Yeah. And like I said, everything that was happening with the bicycle, like, I felt that. Like, is that weird? Is that like next level wildness?
No, not at all.
But yeah.
Because you were very little.
Yeah. I know he's talking about the sticker, or the little sticker scene plat, or what the scene sets, but they cling on.
They were like little Klingon toys.
Yeah.
And it was like the set of the Playhouse, but you had little Klingon pieces where you could move Cherry around, or you could move Flory around on the floor and stuff.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
that. I had a lot of those. I had Batman, but I very
You were rotten.
yeah. I remember the Pee Wee Herman for sure. I never got this.
He has been in my life forever, it seems, and he was eventually given to my own children to sleep with. And once they outgrew him, he came right back to me.
It came back.
So he's been around.
Aside from Pee Wee's Big Adventure, what we're now viewing, Big Top Pee Wee.
Penelope Ann Miller was such a bitch in that movie. Every time I see her in anything, I always think of her and Big Top Pee Wee just trying to change him.
Yeah.
And giving him that nasty egg salad sandwich. Just spits it out.
I like how just like any conversation that we have or with anybody, we can always loop it back to Pee Wee. It's like what's that? 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's like 6 degrees of Pee Wee, and like this just came up in my mind because I keep telling you I was so little. I don't know. That's probably my first glimpse of Cassandra Peterson in Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
It was probably all of our, anybody within our age range,
yeah,
our first glimpse of Cassandra Peterson.
But I'm talking years. I mean, like, it took forever for me to know that was her. And everybody's like, how'd you not know that? Or how'd you not know? Hey, guess what, people? We didn't have internet back in the day. I don't know. I didn't,
We didn't
you know.
know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I always get derailed, but we're going to pull it back. I met Tommy Lee Wallace, and whenever I met him in 2002, 2003, and I didn't know he directed It. Pause for everybody going.
Everybody going,
What? Thank God for internet and just magazines. My magazines.
yeah. Thank you, Fangoria.
The Fangoria, for sure. But guess what? Large Marge is pulling us back. We're going back to Pee Wee. So we talked about the show, talked about a little bit of Big Top Pee Wee, a little bit. We didn't say anything about Chris Christopherson, but that's fine. Everybody knows he's awesome. But with it, like I said, being a kid growing up, watching it, and then now an adult going back and watching it, and like sitting here and watching like YouTube videos, stuff like that. Like at the time, I guess people didn't grasp how funny he was.
Yeah.
But like that's what I said. Like I was sitting here, like we was watching him on Arsenio Hall, like that was great. But like I don't know, like even Arsenio Hall, like he seemed like he had to try to put on a character to even interact with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it.
Well, he never,
yeah.
at that time, he didn't break character in interviews. He didn't break character in interviews until after all that scandal the first time around was over with.
Pee Wee Herman was the original kayfabe.
He was.
Yeah,
He was.
He wasn't gonna break. You're getting Pee Wee at full force.
Hopefully, in doing this episode, it's kind of a little bit of a release for me, especially, and just to hang on to good memories, and hope that Paul Reubens is somewhere, his energy or something is somewhere with Phil Hartman and John Paragon, and they're laughing at everybody from wherever they're at. So they're having some Groundlings fun. If you take anything away from this, I hope that you can remember him positively. And I hope that you can look back at your memories, if you're in our age bracket, your memories of growing up with Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman, or Paul Reubens in film, and you can smile and you can know that that man entertained you, and for however many seconds that you saw him on the screen, that man made you smile. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll be in a much better mood. I don't know. and we'll be talking about some horror related tiny things.
Yeah. Putting the cap on some frightness.